Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be doing a quick review of episode 1 of Sonic Prime. I was actually able to watch it on the very first screening that happened on Saturday, and I'm here to give you guys my thoughts on it. Now, I think the visuals were done very well. As you guys can see behind my character here, the animation just looks pretty stunning. In the Sonic games, we always got those very detailed CGI cutscenes that just looked gorgeous, but here we have a full show that basically looks just like those cutscenes, you know? So visually, I mean, it's really well done. But unfortunately, the dialogue is a little bit lackluster, I find. Just the way it's written, you know, it's very just like a surface level. Like here, let's listen to a few lines that they have for us. Sonic, wait! Sonic, no! It's like, okay. It's just this whole scene of like, Eggman wants the rock. Sonic's trying to stop him from getting the rock. Oh no! Like, the show is so predictable in that way, I find. I don't need an army when I've got a friend like you! Like, ugh, gross. The dialogue is just, I don't know, man. It's really not well written. I find it's super, like, surface level. They just point out the obvious all the time, and, like, right now, where am I? Oh no, I'm somewhere else! It's like, okay, man, like, really? You couldn't have written that better? Like, I don't know. Like, right there. He almost gets hit by a train, and then he has to say something about it, like, oh, close one, I almost got hit. It's like, okay, fuck off. Like, we just saw that you almost got hit. You don't have to, like, point it out that it happened, you know? Like, right here again, with the shoes. Like, his shoes are glowing, and they have electricity coming out of them, and you can obviously tell, and you can see that, and he's like, what's going on with my shoes? I don't know, just, I find the dialogue is, pretty poorly written, and I don't know if the people writing this show really cared that much about what they were writing. They're just like, whatever, let's just get through this. Even the jokes, like, I thought I was losing my rings, you know what I mean? Like, I get that it's a kids show, and, you know, they're just like, wacky, edgy hedgehog. Like, he's just making, like, Ninja Turtle jokes, like, yeah, get shell-shocked, yeah. Like, just annoying little one-liners and things like that, but I don't know, maybe I'm in the wrong here for wanting the show to be more, like, nuanced and have a little bit more substance to it, because as of right now, like, it really doesn't have much substance to it. The story is a little bit interesting just due to the fact that it's about all these multiverses and Sonic traveling through these multiverses, and it's, you know, he's seeing and he's doing these things that he hasn't done before, and oh my god, there's so much unpredictability, like you don't know what's gonna happen next because he's just in this completely new world. But at the same time, it's actually very predictable because they're just doing the whole thing of like, this is what would have happened if Eggman would have taken over the world, you know? It's like, really? They actually did that exact same story. I hate to say it, but in Sonic Forces, like, that's the same thing as this. That's literally the same thing as this. But whereas in Sonic Forces, it was like Sonic and his friends were still like, you know, all together and they're all trying to fight against Eggman, whereas here, you know, the Sonic's friends are like Eggman's slaves, or like they're completely different characters, which is interesting. And Sonic is literally the only one who is still the same. So that aspect of it I find to be kind of interesting, and I'm interested in seeing where the show goes. Hopefully it gets a little more interesting as the episodes go on. But with like the surface level writing, like the really cringe bad writing, I hate to use that word cringe, but it's just like really cheesy, really corny at times, which Sonic dialogue usually is. But to be honest, like I'm more used to watching Sonic Boom, where that actually had some clever writing in it, you know, and some clever comedic moments and just great jokes, and it was so self-aware, whereas this, it feels like they lost that self-awareness again. Like, it's like, oh, Sonic's saying something that's cheesy and cocky, but he's not self-aware that he's saying something that's cheesy and cocky, so it just comes off as like horrible. Like, I hate to say it, but yeah. One scrambled egg coming up. Like, does anyone think that's funny? Does anyone think that's funny? Even little kids watching this, like, they probably know that's like a horrible, cheesy joke, you know? Like, who likes this? Who likes that kind of writing? I don't know who that's for. Oh my god, okay, let's talk about the voice acting, I suppose. This is a bit of a weird review because usually I would play a clip and, you know, give my reaction to it, but I can't pause this, obviously, since it's just streaming in Sonic Speed Simulator, so it's gonna be a little bit weird. For episode 2, I'm just gonna straight up record it off of Netflix. Sorry, Netflix, please don't fucking sue. Please don't strike my channel. But yeah, I'm just going to like go through the episodes and give my comments on each moment, you know, but at least with when I watch it on Netflix, I can pause when I want to say something. But here I literally can't, so I'm kind of talking over it and I have it at a low volume, so I guess Eggman's voice is pretty okay, to be honest. Tails sounds alright and Knuckles sounds alright. I mean, they all kind of sound alright. I don't have too many complaints about the voices. They're not horrible or anything. They're not... You don't listen to the voices and it's like jarring how bad they are, you know? So they do a good enough job. Shout out to everyone who did their thing in this show, to be honest. But I think that they chose, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that they chose amateur voice actors for this. Like, I think that they chose voice actors that were not very experienced, and I feel like I kind of hear that when watching the show. I hear that they're trying to do an imitation of what Sonic should sound like, you know, instead of just being Sonic. And for me, that it's not like jarring when I watch the show, but it's a little bit off-putting because I hear it and I know that, oh, that's like a guy doing an imitation of Sonic, you know? That's not Sonic's voice, that's a guy doing an imitation. Same thing with Tails and the rest of the characters. It just sounds like they're trying to do a voice instead of just doing that voice and being that character. I'm gonna kick your robot. Like, I don't know, man. I do feel bad for the voice actors though, because like if you're not given good writing, then it's hard to make it good, you know? I feel like it's almost impossible to make something of that when you're given just like, I'm gonna kick your robot as a line. It's like, okay, you really can't do much with that, you know? So with what they were given, they actually did a very great job. So honestly, I don't know really what else to say at this point. The visuals look great. The animation style is just like stunning, really, really well done. The music is not very memorable. Each song that they use for the background music, it fits the scene, but it's not anything, as I said, to write home about. The voice actors do a fine job, but like I said, not great writing, so it's really hard for them to work with that, I imagine. I'd be curious to hear what they think. I'm sure they'll never say what they really think, but like it's such an exciting project to be able to work on a show like this, and then I wonder if they got the script back and were disappointed or what they felt, you know? Maybe they liked certain lines but disliked others. I'd be really curious to know what they thought. They'll probably never say, you know? Like this scene of Tails having mechanical tails and fighting Sonic and not knowing who Sonic is kind of interesting. I do appreciate them for taking that approach instead of just making him Sonic's buddy like he always is. Like, that's different and it's interesting, I find. But I think the problem with the show right now is that the concepts that they go for are interesting, but then the writing isn't great. So it's hard for the episodes to hook you in, you know? Like, I wasn't really fully hooked in when I watched this, I found. And I don't know if it's going to improve as the episodes go on, but when I watch a show like, say, One Piece, I'm really hooked in and I want to see what's gonna happen next. So I keep watching and watching. But with this, by the time episode 1 had ended, I didn't feel like, ooh, can't wait for episode 2. I was just like, that was all right, you know? I wasn't overly blown away and I wasn't overly disappointed. It was just kind of meh, like it was okay. That's a little disappointing in a way, I find, because there's not that many things that are notable about the show, you know? The biggest compliment I can give them is that, wow, the animation looks great, but that's kind of it. The writing is so okay that it's like painfully okay. It's like so bland. I don't know. Even this part here with like the little pixelated cutscene, they tried to do like a throwback back to the retro Sonic games, but I feel like we've seen this a million times. Didn't they do something like this in Sonic Movie 2, if I remember correctly? Like this whole part about Tails being like an edgy emo boy who's gonna fight for himself. Like, yeah, that's interesting, I guess, but I'm a little worried that the rest of the show will be painfully bland. I just really want them to do something that's going to excite the audience and get you hooked, because right now, like, they really, really haven't gotten me hooked. In future episodes, I'd just like to see less of these surface level observations and just lines just describing what's going on. When you're visually showing the viewer what's going on, you don't have to describe every little thing. I always thought the extra tail was cool, but the metal ones, man, you're amazing. Like, come on with the writing, guys, come on. I think what's the most disappointing for me is that I found that they really had something with Sonic Boom. Like, the self-aware humor just fit with the Sonic series so perfectly, I found. Because all the characters were like over-exaggerated versions of themselves, but they were self-aware, and they were always making these little self-aware jokes and like poking fun at it. And just the writing in general was so much better, I found. It was actually funny. The show was funny. This show, they make a couple little jokes here and there, but it's not funny at all. This show will never make me laugh. I can already tell just by this first episode. And if it does make me laugh, I'm like laughing at the show, not with the show. That's the difference with Sonic Boom. I was kind of laughing with them, not at them. I'm not like, haha, this is cringe. I was like laughing because it was actually well done, you know? Blue Streak has a friend, didn't look friendly. Like, come on, this is the most bland dialogue ever. Like, how did they expect me to sit through like 45 minutes of this? Like, the visuals are flashy and cool, and the scenery is interesting, but I don't know. I just, it's gonna be a little bit rough if the rest of the episodes are like this first one, to be honest. I will be doing reviews of the later episodes as soon as they come out on the 15th. I'll probably do one every other day or something like that until we've gone through all the episodes. Emo Eggman, ugh, he's so ugly. And of course, the annoying baby, the horrible baby that no one likes. Sorry if this video was a bit of a downer, guys. I really wanted to like love this show, but to me, it's just like painfully average right now. It's a little just like bland, and it's hard to get excited about it. So I just thought I would give you guys my genuine reaction to watching the first episode and just my true thoughts. You know, I'm not gonna say it's amazing if it's like nothing to really write home about, so here's hoping that episode 2 will be better. And make sure to keep an eye on the channel, guys, because those reviews for all of the other episodes will be coming out soon when the show launches on the 15th. Right now we're trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys could please subscribe, that would mean so much to me. And of course, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and comment and tell me your thoughts on this episode. I'd love to hear what you guys thought, and maybe if you agreed with me or disagreed with me, I'd just be really curious to know. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.